Georgia. We're just hours away from the polls opening in this state's primary. It's a battle royale in the 14th congressional district, Marjorie Taylor Greene's old seat, as National Democrats try to pick off every seat they can in an increasingly volatile election season. Joining us now, somebody who knows a bit about it, Shawn, candidate for the Democratic primary in Georgia's 14th congressional district. He's running after coming in second in the March special election following the retirement of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. He's also a retired brigadier general with the U.S. Marines, having appeared on this program once before. General, it's great to see you. Welcome back.
It's good to see both of you again.
You've been barnstorming Northwest Georgia for months now.
Yes.
What is the issue that you hear brought up by voters most often? What will decide this race?
This race will come right down to kitchen table issues. This is 100%, I've been saying forever, the economy. And on top of that, now it's gas prices. On top of that, it's actually the Iran war. Because the center of gravity for Northwest Georgia, like Georgia, is our farmers. And right now, as long as the farmers can't get crops in the field and don't actually have any place to sell them in the future, that is going to be the breaking point in my district, but also throughout Georgia.
Is that a fertilizer issue?
Fertilizer issue, but also diesel. Right now it's planting season here in Georgia, and it's costing all of us. And when I say us, because as y'all guys know, I'm a cattle farmer, so I'm feeling it myself.
With that said, there's a drive in Congress to do away with the federal gas tax.
Yes.
Which many say, hey, it's a drop in the bucket, but it's 18 cents, and that could be meaningful for some families. Do you think that should take place?
Yeah, I believe so.
You'd vote to support that?
I would vote to support that, and I would even tell you here in the great state of Georgia, Governor Kemp has already took the gas price off at the state level, and he just made a decision, I think it was yesterday, to keep it off, because right now, just hard-working, everyday people are struggling just to drive to work. Not for going out for pleasure, just to go to work every day. The math is not meeting up anymore. People going to work, but when they get a check, it's not meeting all their needs.
Well, and on farmers specifically, you talked about needing markets to sell their goods into. Are you happy, and do you believe the people you are trying to represent are happy with the outcomes of President Trump's visit to China last week, where we do understand that there were promises made for more agricultural purchases?
You know, you said the key word, promises. And when you go, as y'all guys know, I spent many years in the military. When you go overseas and you go on an international trip like this, you don't supposed to come back with promises. You're supposed to come back with things that are actually written down and agreed to. Because we all know China loves to say something, but they don't always follow through. So right now, what I'm hearing from the farmers, based on the little information we just got about 2 or 3 hours ago from China, not actually from the United States, right now that soybean deal may not be as good as it needs to be to ensure that our farmers can actually make it future years out.
There was a beef deal announced as well. Speaking of promises to unlock or resume beef imports from the United States. Remember, we talked to Congressman Marlin Stutzman about this from a big rancher state. Asked him if that would raise already high prices for U.S. beef, and he acknowledged that that might well happen. As a cattle rancher, is that something you worry about?
That's something I worry about.
Why are we sending beef to China?
Why are we sending beef to China? But on top of that, as y'all guys know, a few months ago, we bailed out Argentina. Argentina has turned back around and actually doing business with China after they took all our money.
Yeah, well.
The other piece I would say when it comes to cattlemen, we are not directly connected to the prices that you see in the grocery store. And on the flip side of the cost, our input cost continues to go up. From the fuel cost, from the fertilizer cost, from everything that we're doing, our margins are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And that's why I said in the early part of this conversation, the center of gravity for the great state of Georgia, for the 14th, will be our farmers. And when I say our farmers, that's from cattle farmers to row crop farmers to anybody that's doing any type of farming here in Georgia. And the #1 industry in Georgia is agriculture.
Well, so what is it that Congress can do for those farmers if a lot of what you've talked about here, at least when it comes to geopolitics, is being driven by the president of the United States? What is it that Congress needs to do, or you would want to do?
Well, I would tell you the first thing that Congress needs to do is get a backbone. That is the problem. Congress is not playing their role. It's 3 forms of government in this government. And the reality of it is Congress need to do their part, push back on the president and say, hey, what are you doing or what are you not doing? Right now, too many of our congressmen, specifically our Republican congressmen, are actually saying whatever the president wants me to do, that's what I'm going to do. So they're not representing their people. And we're going to find out tomorrow where some others lose their job. And if that actually happens, we are losing our democracy because we don't supposed to have a king. We only supposed to have a president.
Well, you know, you show up in Washington, you join whatever party caucus it is, and it gets to be a lot more difficult to have a backbone, as we've seen repeatedly. If you were elected to serve in the nation's capital, what would you tell the chairman of your party or your leader? It would be possibly Speaker Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
By then, what would you tell him when you want to vote against him?
Point blank, my name is Shawn Harris. I'm a leader. I'm here to represent the people of Northwest Georgia, period. If the answers are going to work out to be what's best for the people of Northwest Georgia, I am all in. If we voted on something that's not going to help the people of Northwest Georgia, then I'm not your guy. And I think more and more of us, the new leadership that's coming to D.C. in this Democratic Party, you're going to see that where we're all in, but we're going to represent our people where we actually who votes for us. Because right now, we're making too many decisions what's best for the party versus what's best for the people.
All right, you're a cattleman. I just need to know quickly, ribeye or strip?
Strip.
He's a strip guy.
Yeah.
Wow,
Didn't even
really?
think about it for a second.
On the bone, of course.
On the bone.
All right, retired Brigadier General and congressional candidate Shawn Harris, thank you so much for joining us here in Atlanta. And we do want to note that our team did extend an invitation to Shawn's opponent, Clay Fuller.